question is, why should you, especially in engineering and design? For example, looking at, you have a product, okay, we call, for example, mold making. You want to cast an object, and casting an object requires that you get a mold, and getting a mold is, we have different types of casting. So getting a mold, you first need the object you want to cast, a prototype of it. So 3D model, you can use 3D model to actually design the how you want the mold to be like, which gives you a higher accuracy before you actually start casting. Okay, so one advantage of 3D modeling is that it gives you precision and accuracy. And the next is that there is efficient prototyping. Prototyping simply is you making something like a miniature of the actual reality of an object. In other words, you making a trial version of an object, or a trial version of a project. So the prototype is exposed to tests and errors. So when the prototype is made, you carry on with several experiments and tests on it to see actually how it will behave. Actually, how it will behave when it is exposed to reality, how the object will react to it. You get it? So 3D modeling gives you efficient prototyping. The next thing is that 3D modeling gives you an enhanced communication. So just like how I cited in the first example, if you are in a company and you want to communicate your ideas, they would want to, no one is in your mind to know what you are thinking about. So you have to bring it into reality. Okay, you have to bring it into reality. So you making a model of it helps your bosses or your clients to imagine what you are talking about, and it gives you the ability to efficiently communicate to them what you want to do. The next is that with 3D modeling, you are able to carry out animation and simulation. Animation is basically you making a video of it. So for example, you've designed a product, you want to make a video of, let's say, the product being operated upon. So for example, if it's an automated chair, so how would the chair move from one point to another? How will the chair, if it's a foldable chair, how will it be able to fold and expand itself again? So that is the animation. The simulation is, for example, the automated chair would be exposed to certain stresses. So how would the stresses impact the table or chair? How would those stresses impact the chair? So you get a chance to actually apply those stresses or forces on the chair before you actually manufacture them. Okay, so it gives you the ability to do your try and error beforehand, before starting production. You get it? Beforehand and before starting production. And in the next point is that in 3D modeling there is customization and flexibility. Customization and flexibility. If I say customization, you are able to change certain parts. For example, you make let's say you model a car, or let's say you model a device, and in the modeling you change one part. Then after changing one part, you realize that that part you changed is not feasible, so you have to change another part. Then you change it again, then you realize that the part you changed is still not making sense. So you're able to customize certain parts. For example, you can apply another example, you can apply, let's say, you can use cast iron. Okay, you can use cast iron. Then upon using a cast iron, you realize that in your simulation, the cast iron you used, as you go further, you get to understand. Let's say the cast iron you used, or simply an iron, the iron is not giving you the needed result. So when you expose it to stresses, you see that it is not able to withstand maximum stress. So you want to change probably the iron to, let's say, stainless steel. If it's not stainless steel, maybe another material. So you get the ability to customize your design. If you are to do it in reality, it means that you are actually going to buy cast iron, designing your product, and you realize that no, the cast iron is not able to give me the maximum stress or load I want to expose my material. So you go and buy stainless steel. After buying stainless steel, you realize that still I'm not getting the maximum load that my object or my design can carry. So it means that at the end, if you don't take care, you have increased the cost of your production. You have wasted money on materials that did not make any benefit or did not add up to what you wanted to achieve. Okay, so 3D modeling gives you the ability to customize. So in conclusion, 3D modeling is a powerful tool for professionals to improve the quality, efficiency, and communication of their design. Okay, it gives you all this ability. Okay, so let's move straight on. Let's start our software straight. So in the outline, I stated that we are basically going to talk about why 3D modeling. We'll look at keyboard shortcuts, then the command manager, the design tree, and the sketch. The command manager, the design tree, and the sketch. So our SolidWorks is loading the background. Okay, so this is how the interface of the software looks like. So when you come, you have the home screen, the welcome screen or the home screen, and you have home here, recent, learn, alerts. Recent basically takes you to some of the designs you've made. So far, I changed my laptop, so these are some of the designs I recently did, and I'm still on some of them. And we have the SolidWorks Learn. If you are new to SolidWorks, this interface gives you the ability to, it's like a tutorial. It takes you through step-by-step tutorials on how to go about using some of the features in the software. So step-by-step tutorial. So basically this is the learn button. Then if you come back to the home screen, there is part. Okay, we call part. Part means a single item or a single design. Part means a single design. Then we have assembly. Assembly is made up of numerous parts. I don't know if you get me. So you've designed, let's say, a whole plant, a chemical processing plant. The chemical processing plant is made up of a lot of components. Or let me take a typical, you are designing a bicycle. A bicycle is made up of a lot of parts. So we have the frame of the bicycle. We have the rim, we have the tires, we have the seat. So you get it. So it's made up of a lot of parts, and these parts you would first have to draw them individually. Do you get me? You first have to draw them singly. So each and every part, you would have to draw each and every part separately. Then you come to assembly. Then you start assembling your stuff. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. So the part gives you the ability to draw just a single thing. But if it's a more complex stuff, for example, someone can decide to, let's say, draw or model a bicycle in just a part. Okay, another person too can decide to do it separately. When you do it separately, then assemble it, you get the ability to modify certain parts more easily. Okay, you get the ability to modify certain parts more easily. And for this beginners tutorial, we are going to basically focus on the parts. Then in more advanced features or the intermediate level, we will look at dealing with the part, dealing with the assembly and some other stuffs. So once the interface shows up like this, then you hit on parts. So you hit on parts. Okay. So this is the interface. This is how the interface looks like. So the first thing that I made mention of was a keyboard shortcut. So on the interface we have the feature tabs. So this is the feature tabs. Here we have sketch, the sketch tab, we have the sketch length, we have markup, evaluate, MBD dimension, SolidWorks add-in, and a whole lot. So it can be that your version of SolidWorks probably you are not having one of these things. So what you do is you first of all have to right click. Okay, you right click over here, we have customize. Okay, we also have tabs. So let's start with the tabs. So the tabs opens the feature tab. So for example, if you see that this feature, this thing, yours is not there, you just come to the tabs here, then you tick it. Once it's ticked, you see that it shows up here. But if it's not ticked, it's not there. So for example, if you don't have sheet metal, you just take sheet metal over here. So once you take sheet metal, you see the sheet metal has shown up over here. Yeah, please, are you all getting what I'm trying to do? That's good. So this is the interface. And so just like how I said, if it's not ticked, it means that it will not show up. So we have to tick it so that it shows up. Then we have the toolbar. The toolbar gives you certain tools to make your gives you more flexibility in how you want to go up with your stuffs. For example, we have 2D to 3D. It gives you the ability to change from 2D to 3D. Basically, if you are doing 2D, how you start a 2D is more of like a sketch of it. Then you are per the sketch, you change the sketch to a 3D. You will come to that. It's not anything difficult. So for example, if I see something like toolbar, for example, if I see something like spline, okay, spline 2, and I want to use spline 2, I can just see, if I click on the spline, it gives me this tab over here. Okay, so if I want to work with splines, splines are basically they are lines, curvy lines. So if I want to use splines, I'll just select it here, then it shows up. Okay, if it's something that has to do with standard views, if I talk of standard view, they are basically front view, end view, top view, isometric view. So if I want to use standard views, these are the standard views. If I hit on the standard view, then it shows up here. Okay, so any of the options for now, you are now starting, so you might not know them, but as you go on further, you knowing where these things are will be more advantageous to you once you get to know what they are used for. Okay, then probably if you also want to customize your stuffs, so we have the customize button here. Okay, so we have the customize button here. We have a lot of, let me take you through the toolbars. So we have enable command manager. Let me show you this. Assuming unknowingly you untick this. Once you untick this, it means that the command manager that you are using to the tools, or what gives you the ability to maneuver your ways in the software, is gone. What you have to do is you have to right click on this side, then click here. So once you click, you see that the command manager is shown again. Okay, once it's gone, it means that you cannot use any of the features that we talked about, the sketch, the sheet metal, those kind of stuff. It will not show up. So always remember this. Once you see that your interface has changed, it means that you are lost. You can't use anything. So you just right click, then you turn on the command manager. Okay, you turn on the command. What happens is, unknowingly you can mistakenly change your interface. So once your interface changes, it means that what gives you the ability to select the tools in the software. So we have the feature tab, we have the sketch, we have the sketch link, we have the sheet metal. It means that it will be gone, and once it's gone, if you are a beginner, you will not know how to restore it back. So what you have to do is you have to right click on the top bar menu, then you select command manager. So you see here the command manager is ticked, but if I untick it, it means that I will not get a chance to see the tabs over here for me to select what I want to do. So always make sure that it is ticked. Do you get me? Okay, then the second thing I mentioned was keyboard shortcut. So we go to customize. So we have shortcut bars, we have commands, we have menus, we have keyboard, then we have mouse gestures. So let me go straight to the keyboard. So every menu, or what should I use, every command and the keyboard shortcut for it. Okay, every command and the keyboard shortcut for it. So for example, if you want to open something, it's Control O, which is mostly used by a lot of softwares. Control O, which means new, Control N, which means new. But in SolidWorks, there are some common features that you use. For example, the line 2. Okay, we have the line 2. We have stuff like I want to use a common feature that we'll be using. For example, revolve. We have revolve. You can create a shortcut for revolve. If you are designing something and you'll be using more of revolve, I will talk about revolve as we go on. If we use extrude more as we go on, you can create keyboard shortcut for them. Okay, if it's loft, you can create a shortcut for them. Okay, so per the command you want to use, you can easily create a shortcut. I want to go to the view. You have the normal. Okay, let me search for normal. Good. So you see this flip normal. I want you guys to take note of it. It's a command that gives you, for example, you are viewing something in isometric view, that is three-sided view, and you want to just look at one side of the surface. So you want to look at the normal to the surface. So this flip to normal gives you the chance to just change from that surface, from that 3 view or any view you are in, to the normal to a particular surface. For example, if it's a box, you want to view only one side but not all the 3 view, that is the isometric view. So once you click on a particular surface and you press the click to normal. So let me show you. For example, let's see, I've started sketch here. Let me see, I draw a box. Okay, then let me see, I extrude this box. I extrude this box to, let's see, 10. Okay, so I extrude this to 10. Okay, so this is one thing I didn't mention. If you are doing 3D modeling, I advise you get a mouse. Getting a mouse makes it more easier. So for example, right now you can see that I can view 3 sides here, here, here. And assuming I just want to only view this side, what I can actually do is that I can use this. I can right click, then select normal to. So once I press normal to, it gives me the side view of it. Okay, so the normal to gives me this side. Assuming, doesn't mean that at every point in time I would have to right click and come and select this. I can just create a keyboard shortcut. So for me, I created a keyboard shortcut as Command O. So I select this surface, then I press. Okay, I'm coming. Let's come to customize, then keyboard. So flip to normal. So this is the command. Okay, so it's what? NO number 0. You can change it to, let's see, any shortcut you want to use. So I can make it, let's see, O. Okay, and one thing you should also take notice of, if let's see the letter or alphabet you want to use has already been assigned to a shortcut, SolidWorks will give you the prompt that the key is already assigned to a command. Okay, so you see that you edit or edit repeat last command. You want to change the assignment to edit flip normal. So it means that the old alphabet which is assigned to a previous command, do you want to change it or not? Okay, do you get me? So let me try it again and see. Come and let me change it. Okay, so let me change it to something like, oh yes. Wow, why is this not responding? Okay, so for example, let me use this command. We have another 3-point view. So I just press on my space bar. So when I press on my space bar, it gives me the chance to select whether I should make this side normal to it or this side. So if I select this side, then it gives me the normal to it, like the flip to normal. So it's the same thing. But actually what I wanted to do was just to use a particular key to represent it. I don't know why. Okay, come. Okay, sure. Okay, then it takes you to the normal to it. Okay. Yeah, hello. Hello, please can you hear me? Okay, good. So that is with the the keyboard shortcut. So the next thing, let's look at mouse gestures. Mouse gestures. So with mouse gestures, first, if you come to the menu, you have to enable it. If you don't enable mouse gestures, it will not come. So you have to enable it from this side. You get it? So let me show you how the mouse gestures looks like. So you see that I'm in this view. I can, when I right click, you see this thing shows up here. This, okay. You see this thing shows up here. We have this is one view. So the mouse gestures just gives you the ability to just, once you right click, then you just move to what you want to do. So it can give me this orientation. For example, if I want it in isometric view, the mouse gesture, when I right click, it gives me the isometric view. Assuming when I come to customize and the mouse gesture is not there, it's not ticked, it means that, let me close it. Once I right click, nothing will show up. Once I right click, nothing is showing up. Like how it will show up. It will show up when it's how it will show up when it is enabled. Okay, see with this, once I right click, this is showing. This thing gives you the flexibility, so you will not have to be moving to side by side, this kind of stuff, which will delay your time. Another thing, let me mention it so that I don't forget, is, for example, let's say you drag your object, you see that it has become very small. Okay, so let's say you've dragged it, that is very small, it's even messy, you don't know where it is. What you can actually do is, we have a zoom to fit. Okay, so once you click on zoom to fit, it zoom to where the object or your drawing is. So now it's not now that you are coming to scroll in or scroll out. And we also have a zoom area. For example, if I want to zoom this particular area, once I click and drag, it zooms that very area for me. Okay, for example, if it's down here, it zooms that very area for me. Okay, then we also have so let's say you select this, you select any menu and you want to go back to the mouse button, you right click, then it gives you select, then you select this, then you come back to where you are. We also have what we call section. So the section gives you the ability to cut through an object. Okay, so you see this is the actual full rectangle that I drew. So if I want to section it, if I select the surface I want to section, let me cancel it again. For example, this is the front plane, this is the top plane, this is the right plane. If I select right plane, then I hit on section, it automatically section that very plane for me. And probably I don't want it to be exactly at the middle, So let's say somewhere at the edge, I just drag it to somewhere at the edge. Then you see how we are about. You get it? And this is view orientation. So basically that's what we did initially. Then let's go back to the customize again. With the one last thing, with the mouse gestures, we have a 2 mouse gesture. So this is it, these two. So you get 2 options. If you are in the path, it gives you accept or okay. Then if you are in the sketch, it gives you dimension and drawing. And if you are in drawing, it gives you annotation or text, then dimension. Then in assembly, it gives you meet or measure. So we have to, but if you choose the 12, the 12 gives you a lot of flexibility. Okay, so now let's hit back to. So we are done with the command manager, the design tree. So on your left side of the window, we have the design tree. The design tree basically tells you what you've done so far, the process you've gone through. So we have the path. So I can choose to, if I name, let's see what I've done. Let me name it as let me save it as rectangle. Okay, so immediately I save it as rectangle. You see that at my left, at the design tree, which is on my left side at this part, the name has changed to rectangle. Then this history gives me the history of the commands that I have performed in the window. Okay, then this sensor is basically for an advanced feature. So let's not talk about it right now. Then we have the annotation. The annotation is also something that you will not be using right now, but basically it gives you the ability to change the camera view and other stuff. Then we have the solid body, which is the boss extrude. Boss extrude gives you the ability to pull. For example, when I do this, so let me go back to this. See, before I do the rectangle, I do the square. So let me right click and come to edit sketch. I drew this rectangle. Then after drawing the rectangle, then I head back to feature. So the feature gives you the ability to, it's like you are pulling something. So let me edit this feature for you so that you see it. You see it's 2D. If it's like this, it's 2D, but if you use boss extrude lets you pull it to the 3D feature you want. So now it's no more a rectangle, but it's something like a, should I say a cuboid? Yes, a cuboid. Depends on how you call it. So you see that now it's something like a beam, a box, like, you get what I'm trying to say. So boss extrude gives you the ability to do that. And so once you've done any command and you come to the design tree, the design tree tells you the sequence of command that you've done already. So it tells you that first you did a sketch, and after the sketch you did the boss extrude. You get what I'm trying to say? Good. So this is how the design tree looks like. So whatever you do, the design tree gives you the list of what you've done. So your design, you did this, from this you did this. So if I want to go back, well, once I move this bar to the top, okay, once I move this bar to the top, you see that it automatically clears what I have done, assuming that I have done a sequence of stuff. So let me pull it back. Let's say I select sketch, I sketch on this surface, then let me say I draw a circle over here. I draw another circle over here. Then I come to extrude. I want us to understand the design tree. Then I extrude this to this point like this. So now it becomes something like this. You see, on the design tree, it shows that I've done a second extrude here. Okay, so if I should take it back to the previous command to show you that the first thing that I did was this, and the second is this. You can choose to rename your design tree. Probably you want this thing to be a pipe, so you can name it as a pipe in order not to confuse you with what is boss extrude 1, boss extrude 2. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. So this is with the design tree. So the design tree is always on your left. Always on your left. It's always on your left. Don't forget, always on your left. Always on your left. The next thing we'll look at is, let me go back. Sketches. So let me basically close this. Don't save. Let me close it. Now we go to File, New. Then let's select Part. You select Part. Okay. This is how it looks like. So Part. Okay. So with the sketch, the sketch is over here. So you come to the tabs at the side. When I started earlier, I made mention of how you can turn these features on. So if it's not on, you just right click, you come to tabs, then you come to sketch over here. You see it's gone. Once I click it, shows back again here. So this is it. So this is the sketch. Okay, so first, if you want to draw anything, you would have to know the plane you want to use. So we have front plane, top plane, right plane. So what plane do you want to draw the thing? The plane you pick can make your drawing very easy for you. If you should pick a plane that does not give you the chance to actually see the whole picture of it, well, it means that you go through a lot of difficulty. Sometimes you even get stuck and you would have to go back. And so depending on what you want to do, you have to select a very good plane. For example, let me make it show. So you have, so this is front plane. Let me show this. This is top plane. This is right plane. So the three all intersect to form this quadrant. So we have the top plane here, front plane, and right plane, or the end plane, which is this. So assuming what I want to draw, I want to just use the view it from the top. So let's say the top plane. So you select the plane. So once I select, let's say top plane, then I right click. Once you right click, it tells you sketch, hide, zoom to section, normal to. So you want to view normal to that very plane. So I can choose normal to that very plane. So let me hide these parts so that you don't see them again. Hide. So now nothing is showing. Okay, so now I want to sketch on the top plane. So I come to sketch. So once I select sketch, you see that automatically I get sketch 1. So now I'm sketching the first sketch 1. Good. So you select your sketch. Now from the view you are in, you selected top view. Top view, if it's top view you view a certain aspect of it. It's either you view it as a rectangle or, so let's go through the sketch. So the first tool on the sketch is the line tool. So once you select the line tool, it comes like something like a pen. Okay, so you click one end, then it starts, then it gives you it's like you are trying to draw something, or write something. Once you put the pen or the ink on the surface, it starts to draw. So this is the first point. So you are drawing a line. So first one end of the line, where do you want to end? So let's say if I want it to be this line like this, a straight line. And if it's a straight line, once you select a straight line, once it becomes a horizontal line, you see that there is this yellow line that comes to the edge of the line tool that I've selected, like the pen. You see this line. So what it means that is horizontal. So once I select, you see that it has now given me the line. Okay. Once I select it, that's now giving me the line. If I click on another point, it begins to draw. Okay. So let's say I come to this point, draw another line here. I draw another line here. And I draw another line here. Good. So now it has closed. So this is how the line tool is. Let me show you another thing also. If I click at one point and I click another point, then if I should move this line to over the edge, you see it changes to a circle. That's one thing you should also take note of. It changes to something like a circle. But initially I didn't choose circle, but it has changed to a circle. Now it has changed to another, something like an ellipse. Okay. So let me select. Once you are done with what you want to do, you just right click then on select from that very tool. So assuming I don't want this, I just select this, then I hit on delete and I delete, or just right click and select and delete. So this is the line tool. Good. Let me go on to the next tool. So the next tool is circle. You can see the name. So we just click on any surface, then draws the circle. Draws the circle here. Draws the circle here. Draws the circle here. Draws the circle here. Once you are done, you right click, then you select, you click on the select, and it takes you back to your normal screen again. Okay, but I'll not be using this, so let me just I've selected all, then I just hit on delete, then delete, or I right click on it, then select delete, right click and select delete. Then the next thing is spline. So spline is something like zigzag. You see, this normal lines will not give you this. Normal lines will not give you. So this is what the spline gives you. So it's something like a zigzag. You see how the shape of a lady looks like, contour lines. So this is what the spline gives you. So the spline gives you curved surface. Okay, Coca-Cola shape. This is what the spline gives you, a Coca-Cola line contour. Okay, so this is how the spline looks like. It's very useful when you are drawing something that you see that the surface is not a straight edge. Okay. One advantage about SolidWorks is if you don't know how to use a tool, once you move your pointer onto it, it gives you how the tool is used. Okay. Then we have a rectangle. The rectangle is here. The rectangle, you can see that there is this drop down menu. We have corner rectangle, center rectangle, 3-point corner rectangle, 3-point center rectangle, then parallelogram. So let me start with corner rectangle. Corner rectangle, once you click at one corner, then you drag to the other, then it comes. Okay, so let me do it again. Click here, drag it to the, you don't even have to drag, you just click, then you move it to your next point. Or you click and drag, it will come. It's the same thing. Then the next thing is that same rectangle, we call the center rectangle. This, what happens is that it draws the rectangle from the center. Okay, draws the rectangle from the center. Okay, it draws the rectangle from the center. Then we also have another rectangle, which is the 3-point corner rectangle. So 1, 2, 3. Then it draws it for you. Let me do it again. 1, 2, 3. Then it draws it for you. Then the fourth type of rectangle is a 3-point center rectangle. So that one, you'd click here, then it kind of draws the thing from the center. So let me do it again. Click here, you click another point. Then once you drag it, it begins to drag it out. Okay, so this is it. Then we have arc. I think there's there's a last one, parallelogram. So it basically draws a parallelogram for you. Okay, it draws a parallelogram for you. Good. So you don't have to draw a rectangle then change it or somehow. It just draws a parallelogram for you. You get it? So this is it. Time is up. Let me wrap up. Then we have arc. The arc 2 has 3 options under it. We have center point arc. So you select this side. So center, you start from the center. Then you get to draw the arc you want to draw. So let's say I want to draw a semicircle. Then I get this arc. Okay. Another, see that same arc, we have tangent arc. So let me say I select here, then I select here. You see, then it begins to draw. Let me draw it. So let me see, I select here. I want to draw something tangent to this. So I select the first point, then I come and select the second point, then it draws. So let me do another one here. I come and select here. It has drawn it, but you might not see it all. So let me make it like something like this. Then under that same arc, we have 3-point arc. The 3-point arc is actually good to use. So for example, if I click here, then I click here, then it requires that I click the 3rd point. So assuming I want it to be on this, then it comes. So let me say, for example, this rectangle. I select here, then I drag to the surface here, or let me say external to it, outside of it, then it comes. You get it? Let me delete. Let me select all this and delete it. Right click, then wait. I select all, then hit delete on my keyboard. So let me talk about spline. I say spline, ellipse. So ellipse is something like a form of a circle. So I select ellipse. Okay, it does something like a compressed circle. It does something like a compressed circle. So let me end here. Okay, so we ended at ellipse. We ended on ellipse. So tomorrow we'll talk about straight slot, polygon, then sketch fillet. In fact, we'll do a lot of things tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll go through drawing stuff like using the extrude. So we'll do something like how this you can change this thing into a 3D. See, now it has become a 3D. Then we'll also talk about using, let me come back to this. We'll talk about revolve balls. For example, you draw something, you draw a line. Let me whet your appetite. For example, you draw something like a line. something like it, something like this, and you use revolve. I'll explain it very well for you to understand. You see that it's kind of has done a cone, something like a cone addition to it. We'll talk more about using stuffs like this and how you can go about it and how the whole thing works. So we are done for today. We are done for today.